Elevator Pitch presents Bud's Coffee, written by Rae F. When you walked into Bud's Coffee, you were meant to feel at home. When the baristas poured you boiling hot drinks, it was an act of self-sacrifice, for they could be burned by them. When the baristas smiled at you, it was an act of kindness, for it meant they were truly happy to see you. When they charged you $11 for a cup, it was an act of charity, for your money was helping them survive. Such genuine hospitality was hard to come by nowadays, which was why Bud's Coffee could be found on every block, a smiling beacon of warmth and humanity on a cold city street. It was the last human coffee shop in the city, and its owners prided themselves on this fact. Sure, it would be easier to program some robots to do it. Cheaper, too. But where was the heart in that? Bud's Coffee was helping humanity stay on its feet by hiring humanity. As soon as you walked in, the sign above said, "Welcome home." The sound of steaming imitation milk and coffee brand pop music flooded your ears. The smell of bleach and soap and coffee filled your nose. The synthetic lights let off a warm glow, and it made you feel like you were sitting in your mother's kitchen again, as she brewed a pot for you and your brothers. It made you feel calm, supported again, in a way jobs or awards never had, though they promised to. It made you feel stable. You wonder what it's like to work in such a wonderful place as you think of what to order. You decide to ask just as you decide on a macchiato, even though you know it's mostly imitation sugar. As you approach the register, the barista's eyes smile at you.
Welcome home to Bud's Coffee. How can I help you?
It's the same welcome you receive every time, and it fills you with comfort in its familiarity. You decide to go off script. After all, they are human, and have the functioning capabilities to handle it. You say, "What's it like to work here?"
It's fine. It's like I hardly have to work at all.
"That's good," you say, not sure how to follow up.
What can I get you?
You make your order, and the barista's smile never changes. The next day, you walk over and wait in a line down the block. Thursdays are happy hours, so you expected this. You don't mind waiting in line, though, content to watch the line get shorter and shorter. You rarely have to wait for things nowadays, so you consider it a novelty to be able to just exist, to people watch. The line halts for a little too long, and you wonder what the holdup is.
Hello? I said I wanted my free drink.
I'm sorry. That offer only applies to the medium size, and you ordered a large.
You just said that. Oh, I swear this thing is broken.
I'm sorry. Bud's Coffee only hires real humans.
Free drink.
I'm sorry. That offer only applies to the medium size, and you ordered a large. Would you like to change the size?
On all the ads, it says you get a free drink if you order during happy hour.
I'm sorry.
They're only human, you think, as the argument goes on. Maybe we've forgotten. "Sorry you had to go through that," you say when you get to the register, and you put $1 you can't afford to spare in the tip jar.
What can I get you?
You're running low on money. It's been months since the job you had laid you off. "We're looking for more stable employees," your boss had said. You wanted to say back, "What a coincidence. You were looking for more stable employment." But you knew what they meant when they said that. They've gone and replaced you with a robot. So had your last 5 jobs. A hunk of metal was more stable as a worker than you were. But that was then, and this is now. You're running low on money, and you know you shouldn't be spending what little you have on coffee of all things. But when you don't, you're useless for the day, stuck with a nasty headache and caught in between the gears of your head, and you can't think, let alone search for work. So, as you walk into Bud's Coffee this morning, you ask about a job. "How do I apply here?"
Oh. To work here?
"Yeah."
We...
The barista's mouth twitches momentarily, then a blink, and they smile back at you.
I'm sorry. It's my first day. If you ask my manager, they can give you the details.
You have the same barista every time, but you don't comment on it. Maybe they're just having a bad day. After all, humans make errors all the time. You ask the manager how to apply, and they tell you to come back Monday. They say nothing else, and you leave, overpriced latte in tow, relieved.
Do you have any family?
Not anymore. My mothers and brothers had a hard time with...
Okay.
The interviewer jots something down.
Are you in school right now?
I used to be, but I dropped out. Too much money.
And do you plan on going back?
Maybe, if I could make enough money. The interviewer thinks for a moment.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem. To work for this family, you see, we are going to require your complete focus and attention. Do you think you can give it?
I mean, yeah, probably, you say, hoping it sounds convincing.
Excellent. Have any art conditions?
Not that I know of.
Good. Come in on Monday for onboarding.
Wait, you call after the interviewer as they turn to leave. How much am I going to be paid? You ask, realizing they never said.
Oh. We'll talk more about it on Monday.
Okay. Onboarding is not where you're used to. First, it's cold. Not just the room, all of it. You want to ask them for a coffee or at least a hot cup of water to warm your hands, but you're afraid they'll charge you for it, and you need what's left of your money to pay rent this week. The person who you assume is going to be your boss looks you up and down icily. The sounds of the dripping faucet in the bathroom sink counting down the seconds that you sit in silence. They write several things down on a notepad, but you can't see. Second, something smells here. Not like coffee or bleach like the main cafe does. Like the burning of something else. You recall the smell from the time you accidentally grabbed a neon plasma bulb because you thought it was one of those lamps with screw-off light bulbs, and you scarred your hand forever. Third, you're alone. You'd expect the back room to be full of employees filing in and out, restocking fridges and refilling ice buckets, but even though there's an ice chest and some fridges in here, you see no people, save for yourself and your new manager, maybe? You aren't sure if they're a person or not, to be honest. You think they're human. You hope so, at least. You don't think you could stomach getting replaced by an android again, and if the manager already was, it would only be a matter of time. You hope they wouldn't do that. Bud's Coffee hires people, right? The employer in front of you hands you a pen, and you're so distracted by everything that you sign without thinking twice. And just like that, you're in. They smile slightly, impersonally, and tell you to file into the next room for training. Training is a whirlwind of hot water burns and confusion. You never noticed how much steam came out of everywhere, how much of it was inconsiderately angled towards your face. You never noticed the cracked hands of the baristas, bare and dried and angry from repeated submersion into bleach from cleaning. You haven't been given a break since onboarding started. You're too afraid to ask. Your feet ache and your legs burn, and you wonder how everyone else does this for 12-hour shifts every day without feeling weak. Hours move at a snail's pace. You've burned your hands so often you can hardly feel them. Your vision blurs. You're so tired when you clock out that you pass out as soon as your head hits the pillow. You do not remember the walk home. All that's left is to wake up and start again. Your second day at Bud's Coffee is busy. Baristas move in and out from the back, restocking shelves, cleaning, spilling, starting again. You've only been through one day of training, but you're asked to restock, so you try your best to remember where everything is in your free moments. You feel your heart pounding as people yell over the counter.
Can I get a triple shot?
Can I get a
Hello?
plain
I asked
latte?
for ice.
You don't
Light
want to
up.
speak
And
to
milk.
your manager?
The warm comfort you usually feel from the sounds of steaming milk and cash registers has gone cold as you rush from the ice machine to the bins on the floor, desperately trying to keep up with the speed at which the baristas drain them. You're stopped mid-trip, and it shakes you out of the stress-fueled focus you've slipped into.
Can you cover the register? I have to use the bathroom.
You were never trained to use the register. The desperation in your coworker's eyes makes you want to say yes, but you're so confused by the noise and the request that you only manage to stutter. Sorry, I don't know how to... The barista turns back around almost as abruptly, smiling at the customer in front of them.
What can I get you?
There's a slight twitch in the barista's mouth as they say it. Their tone, like always, is flat and polite. But you swear you can hear a small hitch in it as you turn to continue what you were doing. You decide you're imagining it. Your shift couldn't be over fast enough. You go to clock out, hands numb from the cold of the metal ice bucket and shaking. when you notice someone watching you critically. They make no attempt to say anything, just watch your movements as you type in your employee numbers into the keypad to sign out. You turn to leave. They're still watching you. You shake your head once you're out the door. It was probably a misunderstanding. All that's left is to wake up and start again. Welcome home to Bud's Coffee. How can I help you today?
Hey, can I get a plain iced coffee?
Yeah, of course. Anything else?
And a sandwich.
What kind of sandwich will that be?
Egg.
1 egg sandwich. Coming right up. Will there be anything else for you today?
That's it.
Cool. That'll be $23.50. Cash or card?
I'll just pay with a kidney.
I'm sorry?
Card.
Please make sure you press yes on the screen. Thank you for coming to Bud's Coffee. We hope you'll return home soon.
Whatever.
Welcome home to Bud's Coffee. How can I help you?
Still thinking. 1 second.
Absolutely. Take your time.
I can never decide what to get here. So many options. I love your hair, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Sure, I had that color last month, but it faded really quickly. How do you keep it so vibrant?
Oh, I rinse it with cold water usually, but beyond that I'm not really sure. Just luck, I guess.
Really? I never thought of that. Thanks. I think I'll get a large black coffee.
You ring up the customer, feeling slightly better than you had when you clocked in that morning. You're getting used to ringing people up, you think. Able to spend a little more energy on smiling and acting the part today. It would help if your coworkers talked to you, or each other, or at all. At first you figured they were just too busy to talk, or that your manager was strict, but even on slow days when you haven't had an order in hours, most of the baristas just stand there with this look on their face that makes you feel sick to see. Their eyes flicker from one side of nothing to the other, reading words that aren't there. Only some of your coworkers will even meet your eyes, but on the few occasions they respond to a loud noise or your questions, they're always quick to return to whatever they're doing. If the employees at Bud's Coffee aren't frozen in one sense, they are in another. Whether by force or by fear, paralyzed. You find yourself a part of the latter most of the time, despite your boredom. You still haven't figured out the source of that smell, awful and acrid, creating sense memory of times you'd rather forget. It's not always there, and once, after a few weeks went by with you only smelling coffee and bleach, you figured you imagined it, but as soon as you clocked in for your next morning shift, you smelt it, smoldering and sickly sweet. You wish you could ignore it, but it's as present as the ache in your feet and back. It seeps into your clothing and hair, and even when you clock out and take one of the cold showers you've become accustomed to since you gave up hot water for grocery money, you smell it. The skin of your hand stings, remembering the plasma bulb that scarred it. The end of the day rolls by, and you're ready to bury yourself in your bed and never talk to anyone ever again, when you notice the same someone from the day before watching you clock out. You go to punch out when they call your name. Yeah, can I help you?
Yes, excuse me. Have you been adequately trained in our policy and family connections?
I believe so. That's just what we're supposed to say to the customers, right?
Yeah, it actually is. So, I've actually been watching you from my little spot here, and I noticed that you went a little off script right there. I just wanted to check in that you know how we do things here.
Yeah, I know.
Great! So we're actually going to need you to practice those skills while working register. We do have to pull our own weight here.
Did I do something wrong? They just asked me about my hair.
Yeah, I get it. I really do, but that hair is actually not compliant with our company policy either. We like our family to express ourselves, but that color does clash with our approved colors, so it'll have to go.
Nobody ever told me there was a problem with my hair.
And someone will be spoken to about that, but for now, we're gonna need to change it, okay?
But I can't just...
Okay, glad we had this chat.
Hold on a second. I can't change my hair that easily. I'd have to shave it.
Ooh, sorry. Shaved hair actually does still violate company policy.
Well, then I'd have to diet,
And why can't you do that?
because it'll cost money, and I can't afford to.
Refusal to comply with company policy will result in a talk with corporate and some automatic disciplinary measures. If you're not prepared to face them, I'll be glad to see you tomorrow with the right style and color. Good seeing you.
But I don't.
Automatic disciplinary measures. If you're not prepared to face them, I'll be glad to see you tomorrow with the right style and color. Good seeing you.
What? That smell.
Welcome home, employee number 2863888.
Where am I?
Question unclear. Stand by. Welcome home, employee number 28638888885. Your question is important to us, so we've processed it. You should hear back in 3 to 5 business days. I'm going to continue with orientation now. Welcome home, employee number 2863888.
What's going on?
Processing. Question received. You are undergoing standard disciplinary measure.
What measures? I was at work. How did I get here?
Question received. In compliance with Section 3 of our Family Handbook, all employees are required to understand why they are receiving disciplinary measures. In response to your previous question,
What did I even do wrong? Show me one thing that I...
we are legally required to show you. Would you like to view the scene again?
No, I just can't remember how I got here.
Processing. Problem identified. Memory scenes are subject to random censorship due to Section 23 of 570 Bus Coffee Family Privacy Policy. Would you like for me to read it to you?
No, thank you. Can I speak to a real person, please?
Bud's Coffee only hires real humans. Would you like to speak to a manager?
Well, yeah.
Your request is important to us, so we've processed it. You should hear back in 3 to 5 business days.
Can you at least turn on a light?
I'm sorry, the light is already on.
Then why can't I see more than 5 feet in front of me?
Processing. Problem identified. I'm sorry. I'm going to need an administrator code before I can violate the program directives, which clearly state that the subject is not to be given access to exterior site until orientation has been completed.
They're my eyes. Why can't I... What happened?
Processing. Question unclear.
What did you do to me?
Processing. Question identified. I am a feature of the Bud's Coffee Family Disciplinary Interface. I understand the confusion, but for legal reasons I did not perform the installation. A team of highly trained and confidential professionals hired specifically for the program did. I am simply an automated partner here to help Bud's Coffee family members adjust to the program and provide guidance and surveillance during work hours. Bud's Coffee only hires humans, and it values each and every one of its human family members as much as it values good customer service, which is why we have paid out of our own pockets to outfit every single employee we see struggling with the job with high-powered, low-feedback internal processors to make their time here at Bud's Coffee as efficient as possible. Our top-of-the-line program cuts down the amount of time and money spent on wasteful things like human error, pain, and exhaustion by erasing those things entirely. Think of it as a brand new, outside-the-box solution to retraining, so you can get back to work and we can get back to watching you work. We hope you enjoy your time using the Bud's Coffee Family Disciplinary Interface. For any questions, please contact our 24-hour helpline at 668.
Can I call the line?
Sure. Let me check the line availability. Please hold. You are caller number 191,000 out of 100 out. Would you like to stay on the line?
No, I don't want to work here anymore. I quit.
I'm sorry. We require you leave at least 2 weeks' notice before we can process your release form. Would you like for me to call the store manager to submit a 2 weeks' notice?
Yes.
Processing. It's for store number 9427166 is on a company-sponsored leadership retreat indefinitely and will not have cell phone access until they return.
Indefinitely?
If there are no more questions, I'm going to continue with orientation now. This next part contains confidential information, which you consented to have redacted from your memory in the event that the Bud's Coffee Family Disciplinary Program was installed in Section 10 of your family contract. You may experience as our high-speed redaction system finishes installation. Please hold.
That will be $54.60. Will that be cash or card? Please insert the card as indicated, and make sure you press yes on the screen.
What's it like to work here?
It's wonderful. It's like I hardly have to work at all. Thank you for coming to Bud's Coffee. We hope you return home soon. Your mouth says, curling around the words in a way that's foreign. You grew up a few hours outside the city, where the regional accent is different, more nasal. You don't have an accent anymore. You go to work every day, as usual. You punch in your numbers through muscle memory only, not allowed to see the text. It's for your privacy, you're told, so nobody watching the surveillance stream that's hooked up to your eyes can steal your identity. You stand at the register for hours, maybe days. You're not allowed to see the time either, or else you might grow envious of people using theirs better than yours. The Bud's Coffee family is nothing if not content. When customers spill boiling hot drinks on you, you hardly notice, for you can't feel the burn anymore. When you smile at customers, you hardly notice the act of kindness, for you can't remember the last time you felt truly happy. When you charge $11 for a cup, you wonder how you're surviving, for you haven't seen a paycheck in months. Thank you for coming to Bud's Coffee. At the end of your shift, a switch is flipped, and your whole world becomes darkness again. You wake up at the counter, your vision clouded. The screen that serves as your eyes says, "Welcome home."
This episode featured Anissa C as the narrator, Lilly F as the barista, Jeannette C as the employer, Abba K as the manager, Even S as customers 1 and 3, Ann C as customers 2 and 4, and Asher G as customer 5. This episode was written and produced by Rae F. Episode art was done by Abba Kay. To view bonus content, promotions, and updates, check out our Twitter at ElevatorPitchP, our TikTok at ElevatorPitchP, and our YouTube at ElevatorPitchPodcast. If you like what you hear, consider donating to us at Elevator Pitch Podcast on Ko-Fi. Elevator Pitch is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial ShareAlike 4.0 International License. Thank you for listening.